Ben, welcome back to Paris. How's your preparation been for this year's Roland-Garros?
No, it's been good for me. I went and played Hamburg last week to get some matches, and I think to be able to play in the slow, cold conditions is really good to prepare me for the tournament here. I feel really confident when it's hot, when the ball is moving fast. So to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable when if I play a night match, the temperature drops, the ball's not moving as much. So I feel pretty good and always confident at the slams.
Last time I saw you in Munich, and you won a car there. What happens with that car? Do you get one in the US, which is the same car, or does this one get shipped over to the US? Well, what happens with that car?
Yeah, I think a car arrives in the US. I'm certainly not going to keep it in Europe.
No, but I was just wondering if BMW US would give you the same car, but made in the US or whatever.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Maybe when I get home in like 6 months, it'll be there at my doorstep. But I honestly don't know how it works.
Hey Ben, I just wanted to ask about your season overall. How are you feeling? I mean, it's been a couple of titles at 500s. Thousands haven't been as good for you. Just what are your sort of overall temperature reading of 2026 so far?
Yeah, it's been super up and down for me. Honestly, I've been kind of disappointed in my season, and then I look and I'm 6th in the race. But I think that inconsistency has been a big piece for me that I've been trying to iron out and improve. It certainly hasn't been an easy year for me on the court, off the court, but that's one piece moving forward that I'm definitely trying to get better at. And at the same time, to be able to be finishing out weeks and finishing, when I do make runs with titles, is another one of my big goals. So on one side, very happy, and on the other side, there's a lot to improve upon, get better at. I'm still not the player that I want to be, and I have a lot of work to do. But winning titles and going deep at slams is my biggest goals for sure.
Hey Ben, sorry about your grandmother.
Thank you.
Just wanted to get you to sort of talk through. I imagine after you won Munich, you probably got pretty sky-high confidence about where your clay court game was going.
Yeah.
And then, had some, like you said, results that disappointed you. I'm so curious, like, what that was like, and do those results, like, affect you, and how do you still hang on to what happened in Munich and maybe carry that through, or is it just, tennis is week by week by week and everything goes as it goes?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I'm kind of looking at my performances on, the level that I play, not just the result. Madrid didn't hurt me that much. I thought I played a good match. I ended up losing early to Prismic, but Rome and Hamburg, I was a little bit more disappointed. Rome more with my level, and then Hamburg, I was in the second round. I served for the match, which I'm not sure how many times on tour I've served for a match and lost the match, but better to happen there than here at the Slam. I think it's just one of those sports where you go through certain parts of the year, you're in a flow state, certain parts of the year that it goes a lot worse. It's probably still my best clay season to date so far going into Roland-Garros, and I think at the same time there's certain tournaments that I feel really comfortable on that type of clay. Munich is one of them. Still haven't figured out Madrid and Rome, and I know I love playing here. So I'm definitely, as of right now, an environment player. There's certain environments that I love playing in that I'm really comfortable in, and there's certain ones that I'm working to get better at for sure. But in terms of where my confidence level is at, it doesn't do that much to me.
Just in terms of like the technical aspects of your clay game and the evolution of it, what do you feel like you're much better at, and what do you feel like still's got some room for improvement?
Yeah, I think sometimes I feel like I'm moving at a high level, really elite level on the clay. Sometimes I'm like, some of these footwork patterns still need work. I just need to become a better mover on the surface. I think that, the biggest piece for me is what my identity is on the clay, how I want to play. And from surface to surface, that can vary a lot, which makes it difficult because something that may work in Munich may not work in Rome. Or something that works really well at Roland-Garros may not work in Hamburg. I think that that's the beauty of clay and also the difficulty. Each week you have to be able to adapt and sometimes play a completely different game style based on the conditions. So I think that maybe that's not a technical piece, but it's one of the most important pieces.
Just a couple of weeks away is the World Cup in your home country. How invested will you be in that World Cup? And the US team looks really bad. So what do you think?
Where are you from?
I'm from Austria.
Oh, okay.
We look good. We look good, I'll tell you that.
I don't know anything about the Austrian football team. I haven't heard any news, but obviously always gonna back the USA on home soil. I was thinking that at first you were French, and I would have given you that because they're very, very good. Now I'm like, really, dude? But I'll probably be more invested in Wimbledon than the World Cup, but I'll be watching for sure.
Well, US tennis looks good, that's for sure. I'm curious, as I understand it, you're part of the player boycott, right? The player protest today. I'm curious, do you think, there's been talk about actual boycotting tournaments. Do you think that players would be willing to actually, if the slams continue not to listen to you, to make a stand that would hurt them in order to kind of achieve the goals? Like, for example, I imagine there was an option today to not do press at all, and to take a fine. Do you think players would be willing to do that, or is that too much?
No, I mean, from what I've heard, I think that players are, especially top players, are willing to do more than most people think. The first that kind of really came out and said something strong about it was Arena, who's obviously a world number one, right? Yeah. Sorry. But I think for us, a lot of the talk is about the prize money, which was part of our letter, but it's not the only piece of it. We want a seat at the table. We want to be able to be heard, respected. There's other issues, whether it's pension benefits that solely land on the ATP or I'm blanking right now, bonus pool. All other things that I think have been considered, and I think Coco said something about this also, but we're not just trying to look out for ourselves or line our pockets. I think that everyone knows how much revenue these tournaments are making, and sometimes for a player who's 150 in the world or 200 in the world, this is, the one tournament where they get a big check. At a challenger, I think maybe if you win the tournament, you get like $7,000. And adding prize money in a tournament like this 4 times a year can really help keep their year in the green instead of the red. And I think that, the players are playing at such a high level, and we have so many talented players in the top 200 and even outside that you should be able to make a living playing the sport, being ranked at that place, and that's not the case right now.
Last question.
It's not as good as the famous Austrian soccer team, but I'm curious how it feels. I mean, no one's talked about Austria really in this sport, but how does it
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
The transcript will reflect who said that. How does it feel to be the U.S. #1 for this? I think the longest stretch you've held it so far, for a few months. How important is that for you? Obviously, you have other goals, but that's still a meaningful achievement.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing to think about, to be able to, sort of carry the flag for our country. I think that being able to see the growth of American tennis and see the young guys that are coming through, and you know, not the guys who have already made it, but guys that you don't even know their name yet. Obviously, I live in Orlando. The National Center's there, so I'm seeing these young kids all the time that are very good players coming up, 16, 17, practicing with them sometimes. And for me, that's the coolest part, to kind of be around them and, you know, give them some exposure to playing with a top 10 guy, and to see some of their trajectory and get to know some of those kids has been really fun. So I think I enjoyed that piece of it more, because I know when I was a kid and I got to, you know, hit every once in a while with one of the pros at the USTA, it was like crazy for me. I was starstruck, and it honestly helped a lot. So that's more of what I think about when I think about U.S. tennis, but I'm excited about the place that we're in. I'm excited to see Taylor Fritz back playing again after being injured for a while, and I guess I have more of a team view when I think of U.S. tennis, even though, you know, currently I'm U.S. #1 more than a competition.
Are there any of those names of people who may not know yet in Orlando who jump out to you?
Jordan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.